Morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? This is Paul Fink, and man, oh man, we are here to talk about manifesting your future. Not a small topic, to say the least. What is manifestation and how can you apply it into your life is the topic at hand. And we're going to get right into it. Welcome, everyone. We've got chat going, so please share with me your engagement with manifestation. What is manifestation to you? Have you ever utilized it in your life, and in what way? Where's it shown up? So please engage with me as I'm sharing on this level. What does manifestation mean to you? For many people, it's the concept of what you put out there, you get back. What you put into the universe or what you think gets created in reality. It's creating that tangible from the intangible. That's the core of it. And creating my dream life, yes, that's the focus of, or the reason why we talk about manifestation, is to create our dream life. And it really is understanding that everything that you think, everything that you believe, everything that you say actually has ramifications in the real world. That the vibration of what you are thinking creates a change in the universe that creates all that we have, all that we are, all that we do. I talk about at my live events, I talk about a quote from Gandhi that talks about everything that you believe is your destiny. And so Gandhi talked about this, that as you put it out there, it will happen. As you think it, it creates. And so manifestation is dreaming it, creating it, achieving it, believing in your goals so that they may be a reality. And so, yes, Mary, welcome. And John, thank you so much, guys, for sharing here. Um, Absolutely. And it goes even deeper. Years and years ago, I was involved in or saw the movie The Secret. Who's ever heard of The Secret? The Secret was hugely infamous going back 15 years ago, let's say. And it um, put out there the concept of, you dream it, you believe it, and you believe it in a strong enough way. Well, then it manifests into your world. It happens. And a lot of people tapped into that. It became a worldwide phenomena. And hey, Jay, welcome aboard. And uh, so in The Secret, one of the things that people commented on about The Secret over the years is that The Secret went only so far, and they talked about putting it out there, but they never talked about actually taking any action. And it definitely takes some action to make it happen. However, and here's the real kicker, is that one, the concept's nothing new. It's been around for millennial. Um, and is that just by putting it out there, meaning just by thinking about it and saying it, you will change the universe as you know it. And here's where some of the cornerstone of this comes from. I've got a background in psychology, and I was trained as a clinical psychologist. And we talk about this a lot, and we have up there in the corner a QR code for coming to register for Maverick Success Live. And I'm going to actually give you one component up there. Let me just change some of the components of what we have for you so that I can help you out here. Let's see. Instead of that, I'm going to offer you up something for our Maverick Success. And this is a special offer for everybody that's looking at this. If you go here, this is a discounted price for our Maverick Success Live event. And we've got one coming up. So I wanted to give you a special discount for everyone that's listening to this live. You're going to be able to get a special discount. Go to the QR code and go take a look at that and find out what that's all about. So a lot of this, we continue that conversation in the Maverick Success Live event. And what I'm talking about, years and years ago in my psychology degree, I learned something about self-fulfilling prophecy. And what's self-fulfilling prophecy? It's actually manifestation, and it's the study of manifestation and why it actually happens. Self-fulfilling prophecy, they did some amazing studies in this, which basically said that as someone thinks it, they create it in their universe. Their universe shifts based on what they're thinking. And not because there's some magical vibration. They actually studied it and said that the nuance of engagement with the world shifts as your thought process shifts. And I would love anyone who's got some comments on this, because so often we hear people say, oh, no, I don't believe in that stuff, that that component, and they downplay it, without understanding that there's a whole nother side to it that is based on pure science. So absolutely, let's talk about what self-fulfilling prophecy is in connection. Now, I believe in both sides. I believe that vibrations and everything that we do in manifesting has everything to do with our thoughts do impact the world. We can create the universe at our whim, based on our own thoughts and our process on how we engage with the world. I also understand the rest of the story, that there's other underlying sciences that play into this to help move all this into play. So self-fulfilling prophecy was all about the science of why does this happen? So they did a study with children, and it seems like you're changing your behavior as you think of what you want. Yes. Mary, thank you for that. Absolutely. The key component here is that you do change your behavior, only you're not aware of it. And it's a totally unconscious, or so much of it can be a totally unconscious component. And so what does that mean? So they did the study Self-Fulfilling Prophecy, and they did it with children. And they told the teacher that all the brown-eyed kids, man, they tested all the kids for IQ, and the brown-eyed kids, man, they were brilliant. The blue-eyed kids were a little slower. And this is what they told the teachers. They said, here are the studies. All your blue-eyed kids are a little bit slower. Brown-eyed kids are brilliant. And then they waited 30 days and they retested them. So they did test them and got a baseline. And then they retested them again. And sure enough, the brown-eyed kids over those 30 days increased their scores significantly more than the blue-eyed kids. And the blue-eyed kids actually had a lowering of their scores, of their test scores. They then swapped it out. They went to the teacher and said, oh my gosh, I can't believe we made a mistake. We made a mistake and actually swapped it out and said, no. The blue-eyed kids are the brilliant ones, and the brown-eyed kids are a little bit slow. And then they tested again after 30 days, and again, the ones that the teacher thought were smarter actually tested higher, and the ones that the teacher thought were a little bit slower actually tested less. So what does all this mean? When they went and they had videotaped every motion and everything that happened in the classroom, and what they found is that the teacher, when the teacher thought the brown-eyed kids were smarter, they would give the students that with brown eyes, they would give them a little bit longer to answer a question. When they would call on them, they would say, oh, I know you know the answer. And they would give them a few seconds longer to answer, thus building up someone's confidence that they then, whatever they said, they were given more accolades, they were given more praise, they were given more approval. For the blue-eyed kids during that first segment, they were downplayed. They give them a little bit less time. They would tell, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they would call on the brown-eyed kid to get the right answer. And so they were diminished in their confidence, diminished in their belief in themselves, all in subtle motions, subtle movements. We're talking seconds, 10 seconds, 5 second difference that they would give one child over another. This was huge. When they reversed this, the same thing happened in reverse. So the blue-eyed kids versus the brown-eyed. What are the subtle changes that happen within you when you start thinking differently? When you walk into a room and you're thinking everyone hates you, or you walk into a room and says everyone loves you, is your engagement with those people different? Do you create something different in your motion? Here's I want to share with you one other thing. And so for all you that want a special discount coming to our event, it's coming up real soon. You absolutely want to grab hold of this QR code. And I want to share one other thing with you, because we've got a special event later on today. And you got to join us for the rest of this discussion. I only have a short period of time. I've got some time crunch today to take care of this morning. So I want you to join us tonight. This is a totally free event. You want to come. We're doing new training, Vision to Victory. Now, if you know anything about manifestation and you're beginning to understand, when we're talking about vision to victory, it is about starting with that manifestation and then what? Starting with the manifestation, and then how do you take that and delve into it so that your behavior and your core components step by step lead you to ultimate success. That's the conversation tonight. It starts 7 p.m. Eastern time. Absolutely. There's your QR code. Go and register. We are sending out the links to all the people that register. Go and register right away so that you have all the information and you're prepared for tonight, Vision to Victory. I would love for you to be there and absolutely engage with this. So with all that we're talking about, manifestation is symphony of intention and action. Yes, indeed. And thank you, Dove. That symphony and that component, and I would say it's a journey that we go on of a constant understanding of our internal thoughts and beliefs and how it reflects in our external world. And here's what most people don't get real with right away. And here's where I would say your true power is, and that is understanding that everything you think falls into reality. Everything you think manifests into something tangible in your life. And so, how do you bring that forth is by being really clear with your thoughts, checking yourself every single day, either with accountability partners, mentors, all the people around you to double check to make sure that you are thinking clearly, positively, optimistically, visualizing your future in all its clarity as to what you want, how you really want to live, what you really want to have happen in your future and in your life. I remember so many years ago, I wrote what we call a dream list, and I may get a chance to talk about this more later on tonight, Vision to Victory. Only I put together my dream list. And so this was early on in my personal development engagement, if you will. And I was going through this training, and the exercise was list out every single thing that you want. Achievements, your items that you want to buy, the accolades you want to earn, the things you want to accomplish, the places you want to go. Bullet point every single thing in your life. And here's the exercise: just keep writing, and whether it's 20 things, 200 things, or 1,000 things, just keep writing. And here's the component: if you write it down, you have a chance of bringing it into your life. Anything that you do not write down, you will never bring into your life. Approach it that way, and you will start writing like crazy. And you write down everything you want. Then you would take, and this is the exercise I did, then I took out of that master list the top 10 things that I wanted were absolutely what I wanted to accomplish, do, achieve, create. And this was meant to be a 5-year list, 10 top things that I wanted to bring into my world over the next 5 years. And what's fascinating is there's a whole lot of exercise, a whole lot of components. We'll talk about some of this tonight on Vision to Victory. Only there's more to the story than just writing it down and doing more with it. And how do you apply that into your life? At the time, I didn't know all these other things. I hadn't shifted into the person I am now. And I know it's hard to imagine, only I hadn't become that person yet. And I closed the book and put it away and didn't read it for the year. Didn't look at the list, didn't look at the dream list. Now it's a year later and something happened and I was pulling out the information. I grabbed hold of my notes, opened up the notebook, and I went to that page that I had this dream list on and I read my top 10 list. And the amazing thing that happened is that I ended up recognizing I had achieved. It was 6 out of the 10 things. And I believe there was a 7th that we're just about accomplished on. 7 out of 10 items on the list over the 12 months that followed from writing it that I had achieved. And I thought this was a 5-year or even a megaton years later that I was going to achieve it. And I achieved most of it all in that first year without ever even reading it again, without looking at it again. Pure manifestation, putting it out there into the universe, saying, this is what I want. And it came over and over and over again, right into my hands. Manifestation is one of the most powerful things that you can apply when you understand it at a deep level. We're going to talk more about this later on tonight. And absolutely so glad you're sharing. And Darren says, grateful for your insights on manifestation. It's a compass steering us towards the life we envision. Absolutely. And I'm going to talk more about understanding how this applies into your goal setting tonight and how it engages with the rest of your story on your task list and really getting granular. One of the things that I do on a regular basis is take the theory, the yah that we have in the world with my background in psychology and bring it to the absolute business methodology, life practice that creates the world you really want. Those are the differences that can really create something major in your world. Knowing that connection, taking the psychology or the theory or the philosophy, how does it apply into your world today? How does it apply into everything that you're doing? So come join me tonight. These components, and here's what I would say for the people that are here and what you're to get the most out of kind of your next the next steps in your focus of manifestation is that there are a few things that you should do. One is write down that dream list. It's a great start. Start writing down what you want. Most people never actually write it down. They might at best think about it, but they don't actually write it down. Write down what you want, as detailed as you can get. The next step is to and this is really easy one, is just read that every day. And the third is to increase your awareness that if you think something, it'll happen. If you focus in your energy into one avenue, thinking about doom and gloom, for instance, in your future, chances are your future will be less positive than it could be. When you focus in on something great, chances are that'll come into your life too. One last thing is, as we're rounding out, and I have got to jump, only I look forward to seeing you tonight at the Vision to Victory component. And for all of you that did not see, we also had a QR code up here. And I want to share this with you. Special offer for everyone that wants to come to the Maverick Success Live. Come to this QR code. You're going to get a discounted rate to the Maverick Success Live. Absolutely want to share that with you to make sure that you get here. I open up my doors to people every single day to make sure that everybody can get this information because it's so powerful in transforming your world. There's something called the reticular activating system, which is a complex term, if you will, for what goes on with the neurons in your brain. And what that applies to is that as you understand this concept of manifestation, your brain actually goes to work in filtering out everything that you don't want and filters that out and keeps you focused in on everything you do want. It's why when you go shopping for a car, all of a sudden, as soon as you leave the dealership, looking at the car for the first time, you see that car everywhere because your brain can't process everything that's out there, all the multitude of information that's available to you. So it helps you by focusing your attention into what you say you want. One of the reasons why manifestation works so well is that our brain filters out all the garbage, focusing us in on exactly what we are looking for. So when we say we are looking for these opportunities, we're looking for this greatness, we're looking for the positive in our world, our brain actually filters out everything else and focuses in so we're aware and see all the opportunities and all the greatness in the world. It's one of the core components that helps us manifest what we love in our world. We're going to be talking about that more tonight. We also continue and go a deep dive with all this over 3 days at the Maverick Success Live. So we'd love to see you guys there. Looking forward to seeing you tonight on Vision to Victory. This was a brief component of what manifestation might be for you. And I got to tell you, you want to create your dream world, learn to be more aware of what happens in your life, be more aware of what happens in your internal thought process, because that's manifesting everything in your external. We're going to be talking about those connections and more tonight and at the Maverick Success Live event, as we always do. Look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you so much for sharing and for connecting and for being here. Talk to you next time, everyone.